Better late than never, that's what we always say. It is time to kick off the new season of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport, and we are certainly in for two very interesting, very intense opening races for our brand new GT3 only iteration of the ASRL Sports Car Championship here on the streets of Long Beach, California, where we are high atop the cityscape right now. My name is Tommy Cook. I've got all the action for you by myself here tonight on tape delay. Appreciate everybody's patience in getting this one up and ready to go. The PC issues are sorted out, and it is just about time to get racing for 2 rounds to open up our 2025 season of racing action here with the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Track is just a little bit shorter than 2 miles, and who better to take tips from on how to get around the Long Beach street circuit than real-life race car driver and also series champion of the ASRL Sports Car Championship in the GT3s. Let's have a word with Brody Gunter.
Today I'm going to take you around a lap around the Long Beach Street Circuit in the Tone 200 Ford Mustang. For starters, we go down Shoreline Drive, where you hit 150 miles an hour, one of the slower top speed tracks on this season's schedule. You then go into the hard braking zone of Tone 1, where many passes are going to be done today, which leads you into the very tight technical section, the Fountain, where drivers try and use as much curve as possible to help rotate their cars. Turns 4 and 5 are not opportune moments to make passes, although they are great places to gain time on your fellow opponents. With Turn 5's exit being a very tricky and slidey corner as it's off camber, which leads you to another good passing zone of Turn 6 where you can tie at the inside, open up your entry to maximize your exit. Going up the hill you have a bunch of grip, but we'll lose a lot of it into Turn 8, one of the more dangerous corners on this track, claiming several drivers in real life as well, which leads you onto the back straightaway. The backstretch is another very key place to pass, with it being the second longest straightaway, leading to a hard braking zone of Turn 9, where drivers are trying to cut as much turn as possible to gain time, leading into the carousel tight roundabout Turn 10, where you'll balance your car to the whole turn until you hit the hairpin of Turn 11, the very slow corner, where drivers will balance the car and exit, going back through all the gears and back on the Shoreline Drive. And that is just one lap around here at Long Beach.
It's a healthy mix of some old drivers and some new drivers. It is a packed house here today at Long Beach Street Circuit. So why don't we take just a moment and learn some of the new faces and some of the new liveries on these cars as they get ready to go racing here tonight at Long Beach Street Circuit. Here is the spotter guide for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. Qualifying is about to wrap up. Let's go and take a look at the weather conditions here at the Long Beach Street Circuit here. And, oh boy, it's a little hot. Just a little hot here as the drivers are getting ready to get set here for the starting grid for the opening race of the night. A reminder, it is 2 races. Race number 1 will have the grid set by qualifying time. Round number 2 will be a full field invert. And as you notice there, in the spotter guide video, everybody's running GT3s here this season, but they are split into skill ratings that were developed by Corey Rutherford with an assist from me, since I like to do the spreadsheets so much. Not to pat myself on the back all that much, but regardless, we have a gold league and a silver league. Our gold division, silver division. We'll let you know how they're marketed on our graphics here once they get up and rolling. But it is about time to get set for tonight's starting grid for the opening race of the season, the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. This is how they'll line up for the opening race of the season. It will be Scott Kimbrough leading the field to the green. He's got the G mark next to his name. That means that he is in the gold division. It'll be Bacon Zelenka starting to his outside, row 2 Scott Rister, and then it is series regular Josh Heggie holding the fort there, starting in P4. Damian Dania and Avery Hart on row number 3. It is 2 previous champions with the series, Brody Gunter and Christopher Hill. Heavy hitters there on row 4. Matt Schlosser and JJ Wang, 2 more multi-time race winners of the ASRL Sports Car Championship, rounding out your top 10 starters. It's the bagman, Johnny Alford, starting in 11th next to Rene Garcia, highest qualifying silver league driver here this evening at 12th. Joshua Matacek, Dave Seats, another 2-time series champion, starting back there in 14th. Andre Saba and EJ Nixon will round out row number 8. Kevin Burrows, Jarrell Williams, Mike Hamlin, and Anthony Wayland will round out your top 20. Rest of the starting grid going to roll on by here as we've got 42 drivers that are seemingly set to do battle here tonight in the tight confines of the Long Beach Street Circuit. Lots of familiar names, including our broadcast partner James Watson, who took the opportunity to not have to do the broadcast to be on the starting grid here for the first 2 races of the season. The lights are on and the field is under the control of Barney the flagman. Here at Long Beach, it's Scott Kimbrough and Bacon Zelenka on the front row. For the gold drivers, the dash to turn number 1 is on. We're racing here with the ASRL Sports Car Championship at Long Beach. Kimbrough covering off Rister now, who moves up into second, Zelenka back into third, and it's tight quarters here. Hard braking zone in the left-hander into turn number 1. A little bumping, a little banging, nothing too crazy here though, as Kimbrough leads the field out of the fountain turn. Pretty orderly through the top 10. Kimbrough getting away nicely. Looking at JJ Wang. Oh, there's problems behind. It's Joshua Matacek around. And he will take a couple others with him. I think one of those is Matthew Johnston. We are still good to continue on green here. As it's still Kimbrough leading the way, Rister in second. Here is Zelenka in third, Josh Heggie and Avery Hart. All gold drivers, all in the top 5. The gold drivers will be up on the top in purple because it's a little bit easier to see than gold. The silver drivers will be there in the black. Actually, I have that backwards. It's the purple drivers. Oh my goodness. We'll get to that here in just a second. We'll get our bearings about us. Oh, look at this. Stack up into the hairpin. What is happening? They are at a dead stop. And this is surely going to bring out a caution. I mean, yeah, we always point out the hairpin might be an issue, and it certainly was there. So we've got some replays to look at here on the opening lap, as looks like we are under caution. The field is pretty orderly here around the turns, with a couple minutes off the clock and 1 lap in the books. Scott Kimbrough is the leader. And we'll first take a look at what happened to Joshua Matichek here as we're under the caution. Here's Matichek in the white and the colored top there. And I think that's Jarrell Williams coming in behind. Maybe Matichek slowing up a bit too early, or Jarrell Williams sending it a bit too deep. But either way, that will send Matichek around, and then they start to pile in behind them. Williams able to get through. And Matt Johnston will not. Neither will that all-black car, whose number I can't quite see there. Riding on board with Jarrell Williams. Just in there a bit too deep with Matichek right there. It's hard to tell depth perception-wise with the longer nose of the Mustang as well, with how beefy this car is. But those are the least of the problems here on the opening lap, as it's all about to go sideways in the hairpin. All right, here's James Watson into the hairpin. He's this white and blue car on the inside. And again, it already starts to slow down and stack up a little bit here in the turn. I think Watson just trying to be mindful. Unfortunately, he comes to a full stop there. Stacks him up further. Once again, I think losing track of the driver that's to his left will come to another stop. Also, this car is not rotating whatsoever. Just trying to be mindful. And then he hits Joshua Rutherford. And it is on from there. As looking at it at full speed does not look much different than it at quarter speed. I mean, everybody is just all over one another. So this has burned a considerable amount of time off the clock. This has been something of a 5, maybe even a 6-minute caution period by the time it's all said and done. We'll have inside of 12 minutes to go in our opening race of the season. And again, it's a full field invert regardless of class. Avery Hart did come in and pit from inside the top 5, was running 5th at the time of the caution. But we're back under green here. Scott Kimbrough, whose only appearance on turn 200 up to this point was a win in the CVMF Memorial, or charity race rather, at Road America. As it's pretty orderly into turn number 1 now. Kimbrough, the leading gold driver. Right now, Anthony Wayland in 11th has the top silver position. Actually, it's Rene Garcia in 7th with the top silver running position at the moment. But Kimbrough has him pretty orderly there into the back half of the lap. It's a challenge right now from Zelenka up to Rister. But Bankin not able to make anything happen as of right now. We'll watch him giving chase here. Into the right-hander. And again, this wonky section here, it is rife with possibilities. And not really ever good ones. Not ever really looking to make a pass here unless something happens to the drivers that are around you, and then at that point you just hope that you're not involved in that. But there's Garcia, top silver driver right now in P7. As Brody Gunter is into the pits. I do want to point out this is a 45% fuel capacity. We thought maybe Gunter got a piece of some of the action there on the opening lap, but Gunter here with extensive front-end damage. This is coming to the restart. There's Gunter there in 7th. He's got Damon Dania in front of him and Christopher Hill up there in the blue and black car. And what happens to Christopher Hill? It looks like it got away from him. Maybe some kind of hardware issue. I'm not sure. Hill has not returned to the track since this. And Brody Gunter, I mean, that's terminal damage. They do have a faster pair. That's why you saw Gunter come down pit road. And he is back out on the track. Let's go Kickbot Cam with a 2-time GT3 Series champion. I mean, these two battled so much last year in the LMP2 division. That was the last thing you would have expected to see from Christopher Hill. Something had to go wrong there. Back to the front of the field, as it is Kimbrough still in control of the field with another Scott, Rister there in second, Zelenka in third. Heggie and Dana, your top five. All gold drivers. Again, Garcia right now with a couple of positions back to Anthony Wayland there, who is the second running silver driver at the time. Inside of 10 to go, halfway through the opening race of the season here at Long Beach. About the closest pairing that we've got inside the top 10 right now is Heggie and Dana there, running in fourth and fifth. And not too far behind them is good old JJ Wang, who was kind enough to save the replay file for us to make sure we had a broadcast here tonight. We're riding on board with JJ. Through the fountain turn he goes. Look a little bit further back in the field. TJ Crampton, Rob Henry. These are the closest two on track. As to the inside goes Henry. Gold-rated driver passing a silver on his way back up through the field. Henry, I don't think quite got the qualifying effort he was looking for. But goes +9 with a move to get up to 18th. Back up front, the top three are still staying relatively close to one another. They're all within about a second and a quarter, but it is still Kimbrough pacing the field. He has led them all thus far. You are so tight to that inside wall there. Stacked up for position here into the hairpin. There's Mike Hamlin, Jarrell Williams. They've got a piece of the action there with Joshua Matichek on the first lap. The bagman Johnny Alford has slipped back several positions. He's back to 15th. And Mike Pepper is right here as well, another ASRL long-timer. Pepper up 7 spots from where he took the green flag. Rister and Zelenka getting a little closer here. Zelenka may have caught a piece of the wall there. As Rister trying to get away. With 7 minutes left to go. Would love to wind up on the podium here. We'll love to find something to track down Scott Kimbrough, but as of now, it is not happening. Kimbrough has got something figured out here at Long Beach. All three of the top contenders running the Acura. Josh Heggie in fourth in the Ferrari. And the McLaren of Damon Dana there, closely behind Heggie, rounding out the top five. Still top silver driver right now, Rene Garcia. As it is the silver drivers that are in purple on the ticker. I got that backwards a minute ago. As again, Zelenka, I think, just caught a piece of the wall there into turn number 1. Really trying to push, but you don't really have anywhere you can push here. You are very tightly confined around Long Beach. Even in some of these 3 or 4 traffic lane straightaways. Not the best passing opportunities, especially in the GT3. Take a look back here. This is Anthony Wayland trying to go on offense with Dave Seats. Wayland will look to the inside. Again, Wayland's second in the silver class right now. Seats, your defending GT3 champion, says he's just running for fun this season. Not expecting to be a championship contender. We'll see, though. He is Dave Seats. Double-digit winner here on the channel, just in the GT3s and GT4s. With the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Wayland is all over, and maybe a kiss of the bumper there. Quick look back at this scrum once again. Alford applying the pressure here to Mike Hamlin. This is for 13th ahead of them. Kevin Burrows just snuck by E.J. Nixon for 11th. And Wayland, and now Dave Seats with a problem. Oh, Dave Seats. We were just watching the battle there. Man. Seats the lead car there. Wayland behind, and oh, Wayland bouncing off the wall and puts it into the back of Dave Seats, who buries it there into the tires, and that is a DNF for Dave Seats. So with 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to go, Kimbrough, Rister, and Zelenka. It is now Rister who is closing in just a bit here on Scott Kimbrough. About 0.8 of a second, they've left Zelenka behind to the tune of about 1.5 seconds. So with 4 minutes to go, can Rister find anything on Scott Kimbrough? No other challenges for position right now, so we're focusing on Rister's quest here to try and catch up to Scott Kimbrough, but it is not happening. The gap has now increased to over 1 second. Time is starting to run out. We could take a look back at a bit of a battle brewing here. Jarrell Williams, TJ Crampton, Alex Allen, James Watson, and Mark Krinkle all together here as well. And this is Watson trying to go on the attack to the inside of Alex Howland. Watson, my normal broadcast partner, to the inside, will sneak up to 19th. Silver rated driver, Howland in the gold. And your top silver rated driver right now is Rene Garcia. He is under fire from Matt Schlosser. Garcia's won some GT3 races before. I was a bit surprised to see him in the silver. But this is his buffer right here behind him. Matt Schlosser, gold rated driver, multi-time GT3 race winner with the ASRL Sports Car Championship. The good news is, even if Schlosser is able to get through, he's still got another almost 6 seconds back to Anthony Wayland, his nearest challenger, for the silver victory. And there is Schlosser catching a piece of the wall, trying to cut that inside right-hand turn. Just a little too close. See if that affects the Lamborghini all that much. Schlosser, the highest running Lamborghini in the field. He is right there within swiping range. Could very well be the final lap here. It's going to be awfully close for Scott Kimbrough and Scott Rister in their pursuit of the first victory of the season in the gold division. Rene Garcia looking for his first victory of the season in silver. Into some lap traffic here for the final few turns. This will be very interesting to see if traffic is going to yield, or if Kimbrough is going to have to put his car in some awkward positions. He doesn't really have the luxury of being able to lay up and lay back. And Corey Rutherford, one of those, he will head into the runoff area to try and get out of the way. Through the hairpin, will this be the white or the checkered? For Scott Kimbrough, who's a little bit crossed up. Wrister close to the stripe we go. And that looks like the yellow flag. I think it's the white, though. Half a second between the Scots, Kimbrough and Wrister. Kimbrough has led them all thus far. Josh Heggie and Damon Dana will battle here on the final lap. As will Johnny Alford and Mike Camlin. Outside of the top 10. Rene Garcia's got nothing to worry about. He is well in control of the lead for the silver division as long as he can keep it on the road. Three corners to navigate for Kimbrough, and he will bring home the first checkered flag of the season. Into the hairpin. If Wrister's got anything, this is the time. It's not to be. Scott Kimbrough to the stripe will see the checkered flag and take the first victory of the season in the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. Matt Schlosser with a problem on the final lap, but it is Rene Garcia who will bring home the silver trophy here for round number 1 of the season. For the gold drivers, Kimbrough, Wrister, and Zelenka will be on the podium. Heggie and Damon Dania will be your top 5. JJ Wang in 6, Kevin Burrows, Mike Hamlin, Johnny Alford, Mike Pepper, the top 10. Rene Garcia, Anthony Wayland, and Brian Deese, I believe, your podium finishers for the silver. We'll step aside here for just a moment, and when we come back, we'll have coverage of round number 2 of the season here from Long Beach, here for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport.
Ever walked past a business and a beautifully crafted sign caught your eye? That's what we create at Eminent Signs and Graphics Inc. Whether you're starting fresh or revamping your brand, our expert team designs, fabricates, and installs signs that truly embody your business's spirit. From channel letters to monument signs, we handle it all. Ready to stand out? Visit us today at 1888 Freeman Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and see the magic for yourself.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Turn 200's coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport is presented by Purple Haze Autosport, Eminent Signs and Graphics, Team Watson Racing Setups, CJR Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, and the American Sim Racing League. Welcome back. Unfortunately, our starting grid is not working properly here for round number 2 since it's a replay mode. But we'll tell you this much. This is Christopher Hill lining up on the pole after not finishing round number 1 after some contact there on the restart with Brody Gunter. And actually, this is Ryan Castleberry. But behind him is Christopher Hill. So Castleberry will lead the silver division to the green flag here, and it will be Christopher Hill who is leading the gold drivers. A couple of gaps here on the starting grid as we still wait for a few drivers to trickle in. This will be a 40-minute feature. The clock is going to reset. It's already started, but it'll be on accurate time here once we get to the end of the first lap. But a 40-minute feature with a fully inverted field. That means all the way at the back is Scott Kimbrough and Scott Rister on the back row. Green flag is out, and we're on to the dash to turn number 1 once again. Dave Seats quickly overtaking Christopher Hill there for the lead in the gold. It's Ryan Castleberry, your overall leader, leading the silver, leading the field into turn number 1. Here's Seats with a dime to the inside. Oh, problems into turn number 1. Already starting to stack up a bit here. Field trying to funnel through, but everybody is banging off each other every which way. So many incidents. You want to know where most of the bottling up came from? Riding on board with J.J. Wang. Into turn 1, hanging to the left side. There's 2, 4, 6... 8, 10, 12, 14 positions gained in the first 2 turns as they were all stacking up. And if you want to see what that looks like from the chopper cam, look at that. 4 wide. Really does not work. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. Not a great standing start for a few drivers there in front of JJ, but look, he's got this lane open all to himself. And he's just going to pick them off, row by row, as they continue to stack up big shots there on the right side for some of those drivers. Body work going flying. And that is how you pick up damn near 20 positions in one corner. So that is how that shook out. It is still Ryan Castleberry leading. Now Christopher Hill is up to second. Dave Seats has fallen back to third. So these are your 2 class leaders, first and second, in the overall standings, with Castleberry, the silver driver, now under fire from the top-ranked gold driver. It's Hill inside, and Hill will claim the overall lead. Seats, and now Matichek. This will be for position if Seats can keep this hole open. Castleberry swinging wide, and he's into the barriers. New leader in the silvers is Joshua Matichek in the 6th seat. And your leader at the stripe is Christopher Hill. Oh boy, they're stacking up here in the hairpin once again. And into the pits already. That is Ken Estep. EJ Nixon is also down pit road. Matt Schlosser, who picked up a lot of spots in the invert late in this race, or late in round number 1, rather, which is not what you want to do. But now we'll find his way towards the front of this field, challenging Dan Miglin, the second running silver driver right now, for spot number 4. Again, the top 2 are golds. It is Hill and Seats. Matichek, the top silver in 3rd. Miglin behind him in class for 4th. And it is another gold, Schlosser in 5th. Ryan Castleberry in 6th. Kevin Burrows just towed back to the pits. Oh, there's a spin. That's Tyler Smith. And that is a difficult place to be. He's going to get it righted, and we should stay green. Hill with a 2-second advantage over Dave Seats. Monacek leading the Silvers. Dan Miglin behind him. Schlosser looking for a way through here on Miglin. And Ryan Castleberry is slow and trying to stay out of the way. He may have some damage here, and that is your pole sitter, an early silver class and overall leader back into the pit area. Riding with Ryan Castleberry here. Oh, and just hammering the throttle there. We'll bring that car around into the barrier, and I'm sure it's probably a little too hurt to continue, so he'll just pull it off and call it a race. So Joshua Monacek right now pacing the silver field. He's got about 1.8 seconds to Dan Miglin, who now has Matt Schlosser ahead of him. Watching for some of our invert drivers right now, Bacon Zelenka is in 19th. Scott Kimbrough is only in 29th, with Scott Rister right behind him. So 28th and 29th overall for those two gentlemen, with Zelenka in the 19th position. They're all chasing Christopher Hill with 35 minutes left to go, and Hill already a 3-second lead back to Dave Seats. These are your two winningest drivers from last season in the two different divisions that we had. Of course, Hill, the reigning LMP2 champion, and Seats, the reigning GT3 champion. Some 20 race wins between them, if not more, from last season. I don't have the number off the top of my head. They're both battling in the gold division here for the GT3s. Right now, it is Joshua Monacek here in third, with a friend and teammate of sorts behind. Teammate in most other leagues, but not this one. Matt Schlosser. Shot a crash for Jarrell Williams, but I think that was just him slowing down for the hairpin turn, so we're good there. Looking for challenges for position here. This is Brody Gunter, JJ Wang, and Matthew Croak. And the O2 is around in an inopportune spot, and again Brody Gunter going to take a shot off the nose. Multiple drivers going to have to slow down. I think Matthew wants to get back going here. We don't need to take a replay. We saw the O2 get out from under Matthew there. Just the worst spot possible into the fountain, and Corey Rutherford with a glancing blow on his way by. Oh boy, it's getting worse. So Matthew will get it pointed back in the right direction. Silver drivers battling, Matthew Johnston, Travis Fleming. This is for 11th overall. This would put them, I think, about 5th or 6th in the class. Dan Miglin running second in the silver division right now. Avery Hart coming up on him quick. Hart was running well, but had to pit under the caution in the opening race and didn't ever get those positions back. So it gives him an opportunity to start towards the front here in this one. So Hart running 6th, 4th in class. Alex Howland, Jarrell Williams close together, teammates and friends. Mike Hamlin, Bacon, Zelenka, and TJ Crampton all in this mix here as well. And an opportune time to cut away as I hit the wrong car. Ooh, it sounded like one got in the wall. And that is Mike Hamlin. Hamlin tows back to the pits with a ton of damage. Lots of shuffling there into the hairpin as everybody tries to sort themselves out from the accident. So Mike Hamlin in this mix here with Jarrell Williams ahead. There's Wayland sending it onto the inside, and they just get stacked up. Oh man, big shot there. And around for TJ Crampton. Yeah, a lot of damage there for Mike Hamlin, and that was going to be the end of his race. Back to the front of the field, Monacek and Schlosser. They are tight together here for third. Schlosser would love to try and catch up to Dave Seats here and challenge for second overall and second in class. See Seats just up the road here, overtaking some traffic. Monacek leading the silver drivers right now. After his dust up with Jarrell Williams, gave him a good starting spot. He's taken advantage of it. Dan Miglin has just lost second in class to Rick Thompson. First time we've said Rick Thompson's name here tonight, the OG of the ASRL American Sim Racing League. Thompson with Miglin not too far behind. JJ Wang, Bertie Gunter coming up on those two as well, but it is Thompson and Miglin battling for the silver positions here. So Monacek keeping Schlosser at bay for now. We'll take a look back here at Mark Krinkle and Bacon Zelenka. As Zelenka's looking for a way through, Travis Fleming is not too far behind. Oh, and Krinkle, or excuse me, Krink there with, oh, I kept saying Krinkle. Got a little close to the wall there out of the fountain turn, and it's going to set up Zelenka here with an opportunity. And move the 545 up to P12. Rene Garcia, your silver race 1 winner, running back in the 25th overall position currently. As for third, there goes Matt Schlosser on Joshua Monacek. Through the hairpin, Schlosser up to third. He's got 2 seconds to catch Dave Seats. And Monacek with about, looks like 11 seconds back to Rick Thompson. So no pressure from behind for now for Monacek. These drivers will have to make pit stops at some point here. 45% fuel capacity is, that was Dan Miglin. That was all sorts of out of shape under braking there into turn number 1. Here's JJ Wang. That's the 76 of Rick Thompson up the road. A kiss of the wall there for Thompson. Just behind them, Bertie Gunter just got through on Dan Miglin to move up to 8th. Ten-second lead right now for Christopher Hill over Dave Seats. And Schlosser is gaining on Seats here rather quickly. Only a second and a half. Monacek at this rate will have a few laps before he is caught by Avery Hart. As we were just watching JJ Wang and Rick Thompson into turn number 1, Wang will take the spot away. So move JJ up to 6th. puts him P5 in the gold division. Another pass for position. Josh Heggie threw on Travis Fleming. Anthony Wayland and Scott Kimbrough close together here. Kimbrough trying to make a beeline up through the field. He is in 17th currently. And caught the wall there. Scott Rister all the way back in 29th. It has not been a race that Rister has been looking forward to, that's for sure. As Crink and Williams were going at it there, Mark loses the 14th spot to Jarrell, and that will put Kimbrough hot on the case here. The advantage for seats cut in half again in this 3/4 of a second match. Schlosser in the Lambo is flying up on your reigning GT3 Series champion. Oh, Dan Miglin off into the runoff. And this will cost him quite a few spots. He's already outside of the top 10. For second place, Schlosser with a peak there, but not happening. May have it go into turn number 1. And again, may not be close enough. We'll see if Schlosser tries anything to outbreak Dave Seats. Not there. Monacek now with Avery Hart right behind. Again, Hart a gold driver. Monacek leading the silvers right now. Back up to Schlosser, challenging for Seats' second position. And these drivers have lost Christopher Hill. Hill is 12 seconds up the road. So without something that happened to the 101 here, this race is well within his grasp. Bertie Gunter, Rick Thompson, side by side for position. We'll keep an eye on that as we expect Gunter to move forward, and he does. So move Gunter up to 7th, 6th in class. Seats now able to put some separation back to Matt Schlosser here. And Monacek for now holding off Avery Hart here for 4th. Both drivers in the Porsche. Back to Seats and Schlosser. Schlosser with a dive to the left. Oh, and contact. Oh, Dave is not going to be happy, and he's going to tow back to the pits. Man, that's twice. Schlosser's not like that, but I mean, certainly aggressive racing here. We'll take a look at it quickly as Schlosser is getting reeled in by Monacek. Schlosser going to take a look to the left side here. Oh, maybe just sends it a little bit further than he wanted to. Seats turning down just a little bit into the corner. That's tight racing gone wrong. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of Seats' race. I think out of frustration more than anything else. Kick by Cam here with Matt Schlosser. Just taking a dive. Yeah. Schlosser does not make a habit of making contact like that. And it's surely an accident, but that is not going to leave Dave Seats very happy. So into the hairpin now. Schlosser stacked up with Matichek, Hart, and now J.J. Wang approaching quickly. They all gain a spot. This puts Matichek right now on the overall podium, leading the silver division. It's been a great race thus far for driver 60. We'll look for it to keep up that way. Right over the rumble strips there for Hart. Taking them on head on. Some pit stops starting. Looks like your first two takers might be Travis Fleming and Josh Heggie, assuming that nothing happened to them. But we are to about the halfway mark of this race. 45% fuel capacity for these cars. I'd say the window is open. As Hart with a full counter steer there. Andre Saba with problems. Brody Gunter may have some connection issues here. He is starting to drop through the lineup. And he's back now. Back to 6th. So we missed nothing. As Schlosser is able to get back away after dropping right into Matichek's lap. But now they are stacked up behind Joshua here. Avery Hart, J.J. Wang. Police chopper style. And some blinking there for Matichek now as well. Here's Matthew Johnson. He was just outside of the top 10, running inside the top 5 of the silver division. Down pit road. Schlosser into lap traffic. He has a gap of about 15 seconds up the road as J.J. Wang will come down pit road. Schlosser trailing Christopher Hill to the tune of 15.7 seconds at the stripe. We'll give your race leader a little airtime as somebody absolutely demolished the barriers behind him. Not entirely sure who that was. There's J.J. Wang coming off pit road. Back to Matichek and Hart. Some crashing ahead. And again, not sure who that was because I didn't get a notification. Time battling here, some golds, some silvers. As this is Jarrell Williams, or rather this is Brian Deese, Rob Henry, and Johnny Alford. As from behind Joshua Matichek, here comes Avery Hart into his pit stall for his pit stop. He is the highest driver from the running order to come down pit road thus far. Him and J.J. Wang running inside the top 5 when they elect to come in. As down pit road, that's the bagman, Johnny Alford. He'll leave this trio, which will leave Brian Deese and Rob Henry now, as Bacon Zelenka also down pit road. He's having a great run through the field after the invert. Henry a bit out of sorts there. Having to go a little bit long into that turn. Of the leaders. Oh, we may have just had a problem for Avery Hart. He is slow on the track. So even though he was able to keep it out of Rudnick there, he has still lost a considerable amount of time coming to a complete stop and having to hold. So I'm not sure where this is going to leave him in relativity to Brody Gunter and JJ Wang. But we'll have to see here. Well, actually, we could tell you he is behind JJ Wang. So Wang has got to jump on him by quite a bit, almost 10 seconds now. Brody Gunter yet to make his pit stop, as have Hill, Schlosser, Monacek, Rick Thompson, Andre Saba, Scott Kimbrough, Jarrell Williams, Brian Deese, Rob Henry, the top 10. Everybody else has either lost a ton of time during this race, or they have yet to make their one and only pit stop for the event. 15:30 left on the clock. Henry now coming back at Brian Deese here. How about it? Here comes Joshua Matacek, your silver division leader. Saw a bit of front end repair, it looks like, so he is taking his fast repair. Assuming anyway. Your silver leader for the moment is Rick Thompson in the 76. It is a 21.5 second lead for Christopher Hill, who has not made his pit stop yet. Schlosser also bypassing pit road. JJ Wang on his way back up through the field here. He is through on Brian Deese, so move Wang up to 9th. And after Rob Henry got through on Deese a couple of laps ago, he has taken off. That is who is next up for JJ here. Rick Thompson down pit road. He'll give up the lead in the silver division to Andre Saba. Jarrell Williams also down pit road. Here's Joshua Matacek, expecting him to cycle out to the lead of the silver division, depending on how traffic gets around him. This is Bacon Zelenka, though. Zelenka has made his pit stop already, and he is absolutely flat flying through the field. And even with the problem for Avery Hart, he was still able to get out ahead of Monacek. So the undercut working very nicely for the 13 car. Here comes your race leader, Christopher Hill, and in fact, there goes your race leader, Christopher Hill. He is already off pit road. So the new leader for the moment is the 400 of Matt Schlosser. Bertie Gunter is currently running second. But Hill had an enormous lead. He is only 12 seconds behind. Matt Schlosser even running a bit wide there out of pit exit. Actually making 15 seconds behind Schlosser. Either way, that should vault him well out back into the lead of this one, after Schlosser and Gunter make their stops. Zelenka, Avery Hart is stopped there in the hairpin. As apparently I'm mistaken, Zelenka had not made his pit stop yet. I was going to say he made up a ton of time there. That makes a little bit more sense. But Avery Hart, with big problems there into the hairpin. Schlosser now into the hairpin. Will this be the lap that he comes down pit road? No, it will not be. Very interesting. That is Bertie Gunter coming into the pits, much more scheduled this time than it was in round number 1. JJ Wang is through on Rob Henry. That moves Wang up to 6th tentatively. Wang about to pick up a few more positions. Scott Kimbrough, your round number 1 winner, is down pit road. So is your current silver leader, Andre Saba, and we'll see where he cycles out relative to Joshua Matichek. Matichek right now behind Brian Deese and Matthew Johnston. Matt Johnston and Deese have yet to make their stops. So Matichek through on Saba, who is making his way off pit road behind Scott Kimbrough. So JJ Wang is now up to 3rd. Christopher Hill in 2nd. Matt Schlosser, the race leader, again waiting for his pit stop. We expect him to cycle out to 2nd, but JJ Wang has put in a great stint after his pit stop. So Schlosser may have some company here. We'll wait and see. As Schlosser on pit road, Christopher Hill now will reassume the lead here with 9.5 minutes to go. Here's JJ Wang coming around the hairpin. As Schlosser is already in motion. Like JJ will have some work to do still if he wants to take over 3rd. It is going to be fairly close, though, as there's JJ. And never mind, no work at all. JJ is through to P2. Well done. You forget how long this pit road is and how slow the pace speed is. Ooh, Bertie Gunter again with some connectivity issues here. He is back on the track running in the 4th position. Always good for a bit of a scare. So Matt Johnston right now with the silver lead. There's Joshua Matichek behind him and Rick Thompson. So Thompson gaining on Matichek. Matichek about 2.5 seconds behind Johnston here. And according to my data here, and I missed it, Matt Johnston, or maybe I said it when it happened, but Johnston's made his pit stop already, so this is the cycle. And Johnston is currently the silver leader, running 5th overall. Remember, it was these two getting tangled together in turn 4 on the opening lap of race number 1. We'll continue to monitor the gaps here. It is still about 2.5 seconds between the two. Bonacek has company in the form of Rick Thompson, who is also in division for position. Scott Rister slow down the front straightaway. He's going to give up spots to Avery Hart and to Scott Kimbrough. So problems here for Rister. That will relegate him to 10th for the moment. JJ Wang is getting reeled back in here by Matt Schlosser. It is 0.6 of a second. We'll go on board here with 6.5 minutes to go. Schlosser trying to put in the work on JJ for second overall. Passing a lapper there. Lang able to gap Schlosser just a bit down the long straight. Look a bit further back in the field, Andre Saba and Rob Henry right here together for the 15th position. Saba has it, Henry wants it. And that is Johnny Alford in front of them. As a little bit of contact between the 88 and the 002. And Anthony Wayland is in this mix here as well. It's about the closest battle for position we've got on track. Only about 3 or 4 drivers within a second of one another for position as they run with 5.5 to go. JJ Wang out to a 1 second advantage right now over Matt Schlosser. But leading by 21 seconds, it's Christopher Hill. What a recovery it'll be for the 101 after a disastrous start to his first race of the night and of the season, crashing on the straightaway on the restart. Oh, and a spin. And that is Johnny Alford. Unassisted for the bagman there in the 710. He is hoping to get 710 split by oncoming traffic, able to go back in motion, but he drops down to the 18th now, making 19th position as Dan Micklin is going to get through. A couple of battles brewing now, as something has happened to Joshua Motacek. He has dropped down to 10th in the standings, which puts him now 3rd in class behind Rick Thompson and Matthew Johnston. Thompson having to play defense here against Avery Hart and Scott Kimbrough. The driver he's trying to challenge for the silver championship, silver trophy here tonight in round number 2 is 4.5 seconds up the road. It's Matt Johnston leading the way there. Just as quickly as we've said, there are no battles. All of a sudden, there are battles popping up everywhere. Schlosser reeling in JJ Wang once again here with 3 minutes to go. Back to Hart, who nearly buries it into the back of Thompson there. Kimbrough tight in this action as well. Thompson a bit unsteady there over the curbing. Hart has a run. Kimbrough has a run. Hart is going to dive it into the left-hander. Tight to the barriers on the inside. Kimbrough will get through as well. So Hart to 6th, Kimbrough to 7th, Thompson back to 8th. kickpot style here with Kimbrough. Acura versus Porsche. Ooh, and a kiss of the barriers there as well. We'll go back up to the front of the field, and Christopher Hill across the line. We should have 2 laps to go. Hill, the gold leader, Matt Johnston, the silver leader. TWR is rocking and rolling here. It's Team Watson Racing. Hill, heavy lap traffic, but the good news is, unlike Kimbrough in round 1, he absolutely can take his time here getting through as they are slugging it out in front of him. I think that's Alford and Miglin, and yes, it is. So Alford giving Miglin a shot. Your race leader clipping our camera through the barriers there. That's how tight he's keeping it on the right-hander. Through the hairpin. Gonna be tight on the timer here, whether this is the white or the checkers. Christopher Hill to the stripe. Should have one more. JJ Wang has a 1.5 second advantage over Matt Schlosser. And the silver race is Matt Johnston's to lose here. As they continue to battle hard, Christopher Hill has eased off the pedal here on the final lap. Scott Rister down pit road on the final lap. He got all the way up to the top 10. This is going to cost him multiple positions here. Through the hairpin for the final time. He's got plenty of time to burn. Takes it nice and easy. And Christopher Hill, what a recovery from round number 1. Christopher Hill is back on the win board here at the ASRL Sports Car Championship. He does it for the first time in a GT3. Hill takes the Long Beach feature. JJ Wang will bring it home in the second position. It'll be Matt Schlosser in third. There's Brody Gunter in fourth. And fifth overall right now, leading the silver division. Clean hairpin, and it is all Matt Johnston here tonight in the 404 for the second round. Nicely done for Johnston. A top 5 and a class win. Scott Kimbrough in 6th. Avery Hart will finish in 7th. Silver 2nd. 8th overall for Rick Thompson. Silver 3rd. 9th overall for Joshua Matichek after leading most of the night tonight. Jarrell Williams will take a gold 6th and overall 10th. And for Christopher Hill, oh, are we gonna get a little donut action here? Absolutely. Well, kind of. Well, this is going a little better than I thought it was going to. I figured there was no chance that we were going to get some donuts here. Didn't sound very good, but it happened. And well-deserved burnouts at that. I mean, 15.6 seconds is the margin of victory, but that lead was up over 22 seconds at one point. Hill just dotting his I's and crossing his T's at the final few laps of this race, gave up some time there at the end to JJ Wang, but still, gotta feel good for the drivers who won the team championship last season in multi-class to fire off with the first feature of this season and go first and second, that being Hill and Wang, P1 and P2. So this is a look at the full finishing rundown here. We already ran through the top 10. Christopher Hill, JJ Wang, Matt Schlosser, Brody Gunter, and your silver division winner tonight, Matthew Johnston there in 5th. Scott Kimbrough, Avery Hart, Rick Thompson, Joshua Matichek, and Jarrell Williams, your top 10. Joshua Heggie in 11th, Andre Saba 12th, Anthony Whalen in 13th, Scott Rister, who had to pit there on the final lap, will finish in the 14th position, and Johnny Alford will finish in 15th. Final driver on the lead lap is Dan Miglin in P16. TJ Crampton in 17th, Rob Henry 18th. It is Mike Pepper and Damon Dania, your top 20. 21st for Travis Fleming, 22nd for Rene Garcia, 23rd will go to Tyler Smith. Corey Rutherford, Brian Dees round out the top 25. James Watson, 26, Nick Batista, Alex Allen, Joshua Rutherford, and Mark Krink will round out your top 30. Bacon Zelenka was rocking and rolling. Made that second pit stop. He did make a second pit stop. I was not going crazy there. And I guess elected to retire the car after that. He will finish in 31st. Mike Hamlin took a big shot there. You saw it. He will finish in 32nd. Ryan Castleberry led a couple laps early in this one, but will finish in 33rd. Brian Bonneau, Ken Estep, your top 35. Alec Vorodniak will finish in 36. It is Dave Seitz, who was leading the silver there for a hot minute, or rather was contending for the gold lead there for a hot minute, got tangled together with Matt Schlosser. Will finish in 37th. Aaron Backover, Matthew Croak, and EJ Nixon, the top 40. Kevin Burrows, the 41st and final driver who took the green flag here in tonight's feature. So that is all for tonight's coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. Catch us next Wednesday nights. We will be live. These issues have been fixed, and we'll go live sports car racing at the Circuit of the Americas, live at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for the pre-race show. Myself and James Watson, who will be on the call for that one. We'll go back to business as usual. Sorry that we had to tape delay this one, but I literally could not even get into the session to even pretend to document this race or record it in real time, and yeah, it was a mess. So we appreciate everybody's understanding. Thanks to everybody that helps out here with the American Sim Racing League. Thank you to the Rutherfords. Thanks to Corey and Joshua and Brody Gunter as well for Gunter's guide earlier tonight for Long Beach. We're looking forward to seeing that back for Circuit of the Americas next week. Thanks to all the partners that make this happen as well. Thanks to Purple Haze Autosport. Thank you to Eminent Signs and Graphics. Thank you to CJR Graphics. And thank you to Team Watson Racing Setups and Mullet Music Productions. And of course, thanks to everybody with the American Sim Racing League as well. And that's all we got for you here tonight on Turn 200. Until we meet again from Long Beach Circuit, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations to your class winners here tonight at Long Beach. For the Silvers, it is Matt Johnston in the 404 and Rene Garcia in the 74, taking the victories here this evening. And congrats to Scott Kimbrough and Christopher Hill, your two Gold Division winners here tonight.